Hi, my name's Paul, and I would like to discuss fantastic topic.
My name's Paul. My channel is about trading, investing, and business. And I think public speaking is one of the most important skills you can learn, either if you're working for an employer or you have your own business. It's a skill that if you're good at, commands respect. Quick story. I was invited to go on stage for a panel, and I thought I was going to absolutely nail it. And it didn't go too well. So there I was, my big opportunity. Stepped up on stage, took my seat. As soon as I went to speak, the echo of the microphone that I wasn't used to boomed through the room, and I froze. Looking around the room, the hundreds of people in the audience, and I couldn't remember what I was talking about and what I was just about to say. It was embarrassing, petrifying, and just humiliating. It felt like 20 seconds. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that much. In fact, I'll show you.
Thanks, Don. Okay, Paul, what do you think? Speaking from your Iraq experience.
Yeah, sure. So if I look back to 2014, the global oil crisis, and a lot of companies at that time were looking for ways to restructure their organizations. And health and safety and security was one of those areas that was explored for potential cost savings. So essentially, sorry, lost the thought process there, yeah. So cost implications aside, one of the key drivers was that safety incidents really can have a negative impact on the security function and vice versa.
Spent 3 months preparing for this panel and memorizing every single word for 3 topics that would be questioned on. I would sit in my room for hours on end, literally just reading each word, memorizing it in my head, giving myself little bullet points, and just trying to have it off the cuff, on demand, when asked the question. Because believe it or not, panel discussions are supposed to be open discussion, but in the real world, you generally know the questions before, unless you're going on a Q&A. If you know the questions before, it gives you a chance to really prepare a decent answer and add value to the audience that you're talking to. So this begs the question, what is the best approach? To learn everything verbatim, word for word, or to have an approach where you have some bullet points and you can just paraphrase as you go? Let's look at the pros and cons. So what are some of the pros of learning word for word? It makes you feel safe because you know what you're going to say. And you can actually sound confident. You can throw in some big words that you've actually memorized that you might not ordinarily say if you were just in normal flow of conversation. Now, what are the cons? If you forget one word, your whole flow is gone. You'll be scrambling to try and find and pick up on that first indicator word. It's not easy to find that word when you're searching for it. Exactly what happened to me. I lost one word and the whole thing unraveled. So what about the other approach, having the bullet point approach? Well, this is great because you can adjust your conversation to the panel flow, to the audience members. If there's any questions, you're talking generally, you're already in a conversationalist style, so you're less likely to stutter in an answer, in a response. You generally sound more conversationalist and more authentic if you're just taking the bullet points and talking to people as if they're in the room with you. And it's certainly easy to recover if you lose track. So what are the cons? Well, you run the risk of rambling if you don't really know what you're going to say. You really need to trust your own knowledge in the subject. So what works best for a panel discussion environment? Panels can be unpredictable, but you can have a bullet point list, but you can still prepare your core message and have some anchors around that and some subjects you might want to talk about. Think anchor, not script. So in reflection, what did I learn on that day when all my hard work disappeared in a few empty seconds? One thing it did show me is that panel discussions reward flexibility and not perfection. I don't think I sounded robotic. I think I sounded intelligent, like I knew what I was talking about. But that one little failure made everybody know that I'd scripted too much. Because let's not forget, your moderator could surprisingly open up questions to the floor, which I've seen happen. Luckily for me that day, it didn't. I'm sure I would have been fine, but the fear is still always there. And if you're too scripted, that fear is going to be a lot bigger. So I guess the moral of the story is, don't do what I did. Don't try and memorize everything, because on the day, there will be unexpected things that happen. I think the best thing you can do is remain flexible and just have the knowledge base and have some topics in your mind that you could discuss at the drop of a hat. That's it, guys. Just a short one today. I'm still practicing. I'm throwing videos out there as much as I can just to get used to being in front of the camera, different format of public speaking. So I hope you took some value from this, and I'll see you in the next video.